Morning, dear students of class 12 science. We are dealing with the chapter strategies for enhancement in food production. In the last class, we have learned about animal husbandry. We have learned about management of farm and farm animals. We have discussed about dairy farm management, apiculture, beekeeping, and then fisheries. Now, in today's class, we will learn about animal breeding. So, what do you mean by animal breeding? So, animal breeding is the controlled mating followed by selection to obtain superior genotype of domesticated animals. Now, what do you mean by this? Now, mating means sexual intercourse. Okay, since we have got sexual mode of reproduction, so mating means sexual intercourse. So, in animal mating, animal breeding, there will be a controlled mating. First of all, we have to select the superior male and the superior female. Clear? So there are certain criteria for the selection of superior male and superior female. So those criteria needs to be fulfilled. For example, in case of female, it must produce higher quantity of milk. Okay, and in terms of male, it must be able to produce a superior quality of sperm, higher quality of sperm, and must produce higher quantity of meat. Okay, so there are different criteria by which we are able to select the superior male and the superior female. So first of all, what we do in animal breeding, we will select the superior male and the superior female, then we'll go with their mating. Okay, after mating or after sexual intercourse, the progeny will be produced. Now in case of progeny or in the offspring, the two parental characters will be combined or will be present in the progeny, because during sexual reproductions both the characters of the parents will be inherited to the offspring. So after controlled mating, it will be followed by the selection. Okay, the progeny will be selected. Why? To obtain the superior genotype, we have to select those particular progeny which bears the characters of both the parents. Clear? So this is the most important thing of animal breeding. So where we have to go with the controlled breeding process, controlled mating process, then we have to select the progeny with the superior genotype. Clear? So by this way we can improve the herd, or the, we can say we can improve the quality of the livestock in terms of productions, in terms of their quality. Okay, so animal breeding, you have defined it that is the controlled mating followed by selection to obtain superior genotype of domesticated animals. Clear? Now what are the aims of animal breeding? So first of all, it will increase the yield, that is production. Not only it will increase the production, but also it will increase the quality of animals product, okay, like milk, egg, meat, and wool. So not only there must be the increase in the production of the animal products, all right, but there must be increase in the quality also. So improvement must be there in terms of quality and quantity. So this is the most important aim of animal breeding. Number two, we can say that the progeny which are produced by means of animal breeding, they must be resistant to various diseases. Clear? So resistance to diseases must be present in the progeny which are produced by means of animal breeding. Next aim is to produce the progeny with longer productive life and higher reproductive rate. This is the another aim of animal breeding. The last aim is to produce the progeny with higher growth rate. So these are the aim of animal breeding, where we are going with the controlled mating of the superior male and the superior female, followed by the selection of the superior progeny with superior genotype. Clear? And go with the aims of animal breeding. Now before going further details, we'll just try to understand what does the word breed means, or term breed means, breed, breed. Okay, the term breed means a group of animals related by descent, by origin, and in most cases they are similar in their general appearance, in their size and body feature. So those organisms who are related by descent, okay, by origin, and those who are similar in terms of their general appearance, size and body features, they are said to belong to the same breed. Clear? So therefore, now we'll discuss about the types of animal breeding. So now you have got the idea about breed. Now, like those animals you have got the same descent, which are same in the general appearance, body features, body size, they are said to be the same breed. Now after that we look into the types of animal breeding. So we have got two types of animal breeding. Number one is called inbreeding and number two is called outbreeding. These are the types of breeding. Now outbreeding is further divided into outcrossing, crossbreeding and interspecific hybridization. So these are the types of animal breeding. So breeding are two types, inbreeding and outbreeding. Outbreeding is further divided into outcrossing, crossbreeding and interspecific hybridization. So we'll discuss it one by one. So first of all, what do you mean by inbreeding? Okay, so we'll look at it very carefully. Inbreeding is the mating of closely related individuals of the same species but from different population. That means they are related. So in breeding there will be mating, there will be the sexual intercourse, okay, the reproduction between the individuals which are closely related. So within the same species there will be mating, okay, the species must be closely related but it must be from different populations. Now over here, what are the steps or procedures? So first of all, it involves the identification and mating of superior male and superior female. I have told you that in case of breeding, the first criteria is to select the superior male and the superior female. That means the characters which we need or the characters which are desirable must be present in the parental organisms. Okay, if those characters are present in the male and female, then it can be said to be known as superior male and superior female. I have told you that female in terms of milk production and male in terms of production of progeny and in terms of production of higher quality of meat. Okay, so this can be the criteria for the selection of superior male and superior female. So in inbreeding, we are mating the closely related individuals of the same species but from different populations. And here, first of all, we have to select the superior male and the superior female. So after mating, the progeny or the offspring will be produced. Now again in the progeny, again in the offspring, we have to select such offspring with desirable characteristics. Desirable characteristics means the character of both the parents must be present in the offspring or in the progeny. Now again after evaluating the progeny, again we have to select the superior male and superior female. And again we have to go with their mating. So this process will be carried out for 4 to 6 generations for several generations in order to obtain the superior progeny with desirable characteristics of both the parents. Clear? Now what is the advantage of inbreeding? It increases homozygosity. That means it will maintain the pure line. The same characters must be inherited in several generations. That is called pure line. Okay, for example, in case of Mendel's cross between the tall pea plant and the dwarf pea plant, in each and every generation we can see the inheritance of tall pea character, which is called the pure line. So here also it increases homozygosity, means it has to maintain the pure line. The characters which are desirable, which must be present in the progeny, must be inherited from one generation to another generation. That's the advantage of inbreeding. It maintains this pure line. Number two, it will remove the harmful or deleterious recessive genes. The genes which are harmful in the populations will be removed by means of inbreeding, and there will be accumulation of superior genes. So harmful genes will be removed and the beneficial genes or the superior genes will be present in the population. But there are certain disadvantages of inbreeding also. Continuous inbreeding will reduce the fertility and even productivity. So if there will be continuous inbreeding within the small local population for several generations, then it will lead to the decreased vigor. There will be decrease in terms of fertility, there will be decrease in terms of productivity, which is known as inbreeding depression. This is very, very important. Okay, the questions will come, what do you mean by inbreeding depression? So there will be decrease in fertility, there will be decrease in productivity when there will be continuous inbreeding within a small local population for several generations. Even there will be decrease in the lifespan and loss of milk productivity in case of dairy cows. And meat of such animals will be tough due to higher pH. Clear? So where the most important thing is inbreeding depression. So continuous inbreeding will lead to inbreeding depression. So the next question comes, how can we overcome inbreeding depression? So how to overcome inbreeding depression is the most important thing. Clear? So to overcome inbreeding depression, it is advisable to breed superior animal of the local population with the superior animals of another unrelated population but of the same breed. That means in order to overcome inbreeding depression, in order to overcome low fertility rate, in order to overcome low production, we have to breed the superior animal of a local population with the superior animals of another related population but of the same breed, because in inbreeding depressions we are mating those species which are related, right? But to overcome this inbreeding depression due to continuous inbreeding, we have to breed the superior animal of one local populations with the superior animals of another unrelated populations but of the same breed. Then only inbreeding depressions can be overcome. Okay, now this particular process will also restore the fertility and the yield. That means after this process of mating of superior animals of one populations with the superior animals of another population of the same breed, it will remove the low productivity and the low fertility rate. So there will be higher fertility and higher yield. That means it will restore those fertility rate and the productivity rate. So over here the most important thing is what do you mean by inbreeding depression and how to overcome inbreeding depression. The simple thing is outcross. Okay, we will discuss afterwards. Outcross is the simple process by which we can overcome inbreeding depression. So kindly remember the technique to overcome inbreeding depression. Now number two type of breeding is outbreeding, where there will be mating between unrelated animal belonging to the same breed. Right, there will be mating between the animals which are unrelated that belong to the same breed, or it will belong to the different breed of the same species, or between the individuals of the different species, because there are three types of outbreeding: outcrossing, crossbreeding, and interspecific hybridization. So in outbreeding there will be mating between unrelated animals which can belong to the same breed, or it belong to the same breed of the same species, or between the individuals of different species which are not related. That's why we have got three types of outbreeding: outcrossing, number two crossbreeding, and number three interspecific hybridization. So what is outcrossing? Okay, outcrossing is the mating of animal of same breed. That means in outcrossing there will be mating, there will be sexual intercourse between the animal of the same breed, but they don't share the common ancestors for up to 4 to 6 generations. So when we look at the ancestors, they are not related for 4 to 6 generations. So in outcrossing, the animals mating will be there, all right? The animals will belong to the same breed, but their ancestors will be not common for 4 to 6 generations. Clear? And outcrossing is one of the method to overcome inbreeding depression also. And those progeny which are produced by the outcrossing are known as outcross. Okay, so outcross is the offspring produced by the outcrossing. So outcrossing is the best breeding method for the animal which are below average in productivity and growth rate. So if any animals has got lower productivity and lower growth rate, then we can go for outcrossing, where we will mate them with the same breed, or we will mate them with the different species, or we can mate them with the animals having same breed, but those animals will not share the common ancestors for 4 to 6 generations. And remember, outcrossing is the simple way to overcome the inbreeding depression. Now, crossbreeding, we are going for cross. Okay, so in this method, superior males of one breed are mated with the superior females of another breed. Okay, because cross means we are crossing between the two breeds, but it must belong to the same species. So superior males of one breed are mated with the superior females of another breed of the same species. So here the combination of desirable qualities of two different breeds into the progeny is helped by this process. That means the progeny will carry the desirable characters or the qualities from both the parents. So in crossbreeding, superior male of one breed is mated with the superior female of another breed of the same species. For example, you can go with the page number 531. We'll take out the few examples. Okay, we have got this breed called Sunandini and Current Swiss. Alright, go with the page number 531 for the examples of crossbreeding. Sunandini and Current Swiss are the new breeds of cow which are produced by means of crossbreeding. Okay. And similarly, we have got a new breed of sheep called Hizardale, Hisardal, Hizardale. This Hizardale is a new breed of sheep which has been produced by crossbreeding between the Bicaneri ewes and Merino rams. Okay, Hizardale is a sheep which has been produced by crossbreeding between the Bicaneri ewes and Merino rams. Clear? Similarly, a crossbreeding between white shorthorn and the black Angus cattle produces a blue roan hybrid. Clear? So these are the few examples of cross breeding. Then number third is interspecific hybridization, where we will cross between the two different species. Okay, so in this method of outbreeding, male and female animals of two different species, listen very carefully. Here there will be cross between two different species, clear, which are mated to get the combination of desirable feature of both the parents into one. So in interspecific hybridizations, we are outbreeding the male and female of two different species, and here in the progeny we can get the characteristic features of both the parents in the progeny. Example, mule, M-U-L-E, mule. It's mainly a hybrid. Okay, it's mainly produced by a cross between male donkey and a female horse. Clear? So this mule is very hardier than its parents and is used for the transport of heavy articles in the mountain terrains. Okay, so it's very harder compared to the respective parents. So here we have just discussed about the animal breeding, which are of two types: inbreeding and outbreeding. Outbreeding, we have discussed the three types, which are mainly outcrossing, crossbreeding, and interspecific hybridization. Clear? Now next one we'll talk about controlled breeding experiments or artificial breeding experiments. Okay, and these particular breeding experiments are carried out by the help of artificial insemination and multiple ovulation embryo transfer technique, MOET. MOET is very important. All right, we'll go through it one by one. So artificial insemination and MOET are mainly carried out for the controlled breeding experiment or for the artificial breeding experiment. So let's talk about artificial insemination. Even this we have learned in the first unit also. So in artificial insemination, what we do, we will collect the semen from the superior male, and that semen is being injected into the female reproductive tract by the breeder. Okay, because insemination means the semen will be released into the female reproductive tract, but the word means artificial. So here we will first collect the semen from the superior male, and that semen will be injected into the female reproductive tract by the breeder. That's what is called artificial insemination. So artificial inseminations will help to overcome many problems of normal mating also. Clear? So let's just talk about the advantage of artificial insemination. First one, it ensures good quality progeny. So the progeny that is obtained will be of good quality. Number two, the semen which is collected can be used immediately. All right, or the semen can be frozen. All right, it can be stored, it can be frozen for the later use. Clear? Then next one, semen from one selected male can be used to inseminate a large number of female animals. Clear? That means the semen which is collected from one superior male can be used to inseminate a large number of female animals. Next advantage is that contagious diseases, communicable diseases do not spread by artificial insemination, and disadvantage of this process is that it has got low success rate. Clear? And note this one. Disadvantage of AI. AI means artificial insemination is that it has got very low success rate. Okay, so go through the advantage of artificial insemination and the disadvantage of artificial insemination. Now, next one, MOET, multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. The question generally comes, what does MOET means? Explain the different steps of MOET, or what is the significance of MOET. Okay, so MOET is mainly a technique which is mainly used to improve the herd, HERD herd, the livestock, okay, of animals, of domesticated animals. Now, the most important thing is the steps or the procedures which are involved in MOET. First of all, what we do in the first steps, hormones with FSH like activity. FSH means follicle stimulating hormone, which will initiate the growth of the follicles in case of female. Alright, so hormones with FSH like activity are given to the cow, okay, for inducing follicular maturation, because FSH is involved in the maturation of follicles, which we have learned in first unit. Okay, so this FSH like activity hormones will be given to the female so that there will be follicular maturation, and at the same time it will lead to super ovulation. So before discussing about super ovulation, what do you mean by ovulation? Ovulation is the process of release of mature ovum from the Graafian follicle. Usually, one ova or ovum will be released from each mature Graafian follicle. But in case of superovulation, 6 to 8 eggs are released in one cycle. Yeah, usually in superovulation, 6 to 8 eggs are released in one cycle. So first step is that hormones with FSH like activity are given to the female cow so that it will induce follicular maturations and lead to superovulations where 6 to 8 eggs will be released. After that, the cow will be mated naturally with the superior male, or we will follow the technique of artificial insemination. Clear? Now it's clear for you what does artificial insemination means. Okay, so after mating or artificial insemination, the embryos at 8 to 32 cell stage will be recovered from the female. Okay, so from the cow, the egg with 8 to 32 cell stage will be recovered and will be transferred to the surrogate mother. Clear? So from the cow, we will take out the egg with 8 to 32 cell stage embryo, and that embryo will be inserted into the surrogate mother. Now the growth of that embryo occurs within the body of surrogate mother. Okay, again that cow will be available for second round of MOET. Clear? So what we are doing, we are injecting the female with hormones with FSH like activity, which will induce follicular maturation and induce a superovulation. So 6 to 8 eggs will be produced. Then we will go for mating. We will go for reproduction. So it will be either natural or we can go for artificial insemination. After fertilization, there will be formation of embryo. So embryo at 8 to 32 cell stage will be removed and it will be inserted into the surrogate mother. Okay. Then what we again is that particular cow or the genetic mother will be again ready for another round of superovulation or MOET technique. Clear? So this technology is being used to improve the cow, buffalo, sheep, horse, rabbit. Okay. So by this technique, high milk yielding breeds of female and high quality meat yielding bulls can be obtained with success to increase the herd size in a short time. This is the advantage of MOET. So what does MOET means? MOET means multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology, which is mainly used for the improvement of the heart of the animals or domesticated animals. So in this technique, what we are doing is that we are injecting the cow with the hormone which has got FSH-like activity, which will induce follicular maturations and superovulations, where 6 to 8 eggs will be removed or will be produced at a time. After superovulations, we will go for fertilizations either naturally or artificially, that is artificial inseminations. So after fertilization, there will be formation of embryo. So embryo at 8 to 32 cell stage will be recovered from the cow, from the mother, and it will be inserted into the surrogate mother. Now that genetically mother will be available for second round of artificial inseminations or for MOET technology. Clear? So this technology or this technique has got advantage in producing the high milk yielding breeds of female and high quality meat yielding bulls. Okay, and also it can increase the herd size in a short period of time. Clear? So today we have discussed about the animal breeding. We discussed about the types of animal breeding. We learned about inbreeding and outbreeding. In outbreeding, we have learned three types: outcrossing. Okay. Then we have learned about the crossbreeding, and we have learned about the interspecific hybridizations. Then we have learned about the controlled or artificial breeding experiments, where we have discussed about artificial insemination and multiple ovulation embryo transfer technique or technology. In short, MOET. So kindly go through the book. So see you in next class. We'll begin with the plant breeding. Thank you.